It's not a bad fish, Mick.
That's not a bad one.
Yeah.
Do we want the net? I think we might.
Yeah. Oh, nice fish, mate. Beautiful fish. Nice bit of colour on him. Fantastic time of the morning to be out fishing. Another boat just flying past. Oh yeah. That's a really nice light coloured flathead. We'll just ease that into the net. There we go.
Nice one. It is a real light colour, isn't it?
Oh, he's just spat that, Mick.
That's lucky, mate.
Oh, I just popped that. So there's our soft plastic shrimp. But these big shrimps have got big fat tails. They're very highly scented. Makes a big difference. When the flathead are quiet, I've got to tell you, it makes a massive difference having that scent in the water. And there's the result. New moon, prawns are around. I tell you, it just makes sense. And I think fishing's all about thinking about what you're doing and what the food source is and trying to match the hatch. And that's what we're doing this morning. Gloves ideal when you're handling flathead like this. So in there, nice big grip. That's a really nice fish. What do you reckon, big fella?
That's a great start, mate.
Yeah, look, that's a nice fish. That's probably around that 54 centimetres. But just look at the camouflage. They're amazing fish. It's real sort of dappled, a little bit of gravel here, some weed patches. Look, it doesn't matter where you are. Queensland, New South Wales, Victoria, Tasmania, the same techniques work for these type of fish. Flathead just love those shrimps, those prawns right around the country, isn't there, Mick?
Exactly.
And it's about matching the hatch, getting that technique right, and that's a really nice result. Yep.
Yep.
Yes. Oh, it's
Well,
lively.
that's a few good head shakes there, Mick.
Yeah, lively sort of fish. They've got such hard mouths, flathead. It's so important on that initial bite.
Drive that hook home.
Exactly what Mick just said, drive that hook home. Here he comes. Oh, nice coloured fish there. Thanks, mate.
Oh, another nice one, Mick.
Yeah, nice fish. There's no doubt there's some peak times for catching flathead. Certainly around the new moon with this shrimping technique is ideal, but the run-out tide, I just love the run-out tide. Last of the run-ins, okay, is what we had this morning, and then we want that run-out tide and fish right to the death of the run-out. The other big thing that you really do need to do is fish into the current. So you've got to imagine the current at the moment is running this way. In this estuary system, the tide runs out that way. So they're all sitting with their head into that run-out tide, waiting for an easy meal. Might be a potty mullet. In this case, this time of year, it's big prawns coming along, and that's what they're going to eat. So the electric motor is just ideal for this. We can set a course with north, or we can spot lock on a spot, cast up current. So you're casting up into the current and hopping that prawn down along the bottom with the current. And if you were actually fishing along the bank, what you'd want to do is start down one end and then work along the bank and hop your lure back into the current. So if you're through that way, lure's just going to wash away, it's going to come up off the bottom, and it's really coming up behind the flathead. So really important. In this case, I said, we're really lucky we've got that electric motor there. Always cast into the current.
What do you got there, mate? A little
nice
flatty?
Little flathead.
Stuck down here and grab the net.
Slide him under. Thank you, Michael.
Well done, Mr. Guest. A nice fish.
Yes. We're in about 2.5 metres of water here. It drops over to about 6 metres over there, but 2.5 metres, 1/4 ounce jig head with that 4-inch prawn is just perfect. And I've got some 10-pound Vanish fluorocarbon leader, 6-pound file line on this rod, and this is a 2 to 4 kilos, 7'2", perfect for that. And then I've got another rod rigged up over there. I'm a bit lucky, I've got a couple of rods. It's 3 to 5 kilo, 10-pound braid, 10-pound leader, but with a 3/8 ounce jig head. So when we go over the edge and we get into the deeper water, that 3/8 ounce jig head is a bit heavier. It'll let me get down and work that lure in that slightly deeper water. So this one, I'll just get that. Just got that out of that fish. There's the setup, and that's that 1/4 ounce jig head with a 2/0 hook. So we've got great hook exposure there. You can see that chemically sharpened hook sitting out. Really good hook exposure, and that's so important. You don't want that hook laying down in that soft plastic, because as you go to set the hook, it's a good chance you'll miss. So you need nice, good penetration, and you get that by having the hook set away from the plastic. Yep. It pays when you're casting out just to keep an eye on the way the lure drops and they swim down, and if you just keep an eye on what your braid's doing, you'll feel that bit of a bump on the way down. And this flathead just came off the bottom and it's crashed it on the way down, which is always a good sign. Set the hook. That's a nice fish. Nice fish. big sandy coloured fish. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on.
Head shake there.
There we go. We are. And what I have done is we've moved across now, so we're working the shallow ground over here. There's a big step, and what I've done, if we have a quick close look, just drop that net handle there, Mick. So yeah. Is I've gone up to that heavier jig head. So now the 3/8 of an ounce jig head, so it's just slightly bigger jig head, and gone to the 3 to 5 kilo rod. It's actually 10-pound braid, so it's a little bit heavier, but fire line these days is so super fine, it really doesn't affect your sink rate, but it just lets me get that lure on that deeper edge. So I'm lucky I've got 2 rods that I can use, but it doesn't take long to snip that off and change it up, and there's a result.